Bitcoin is the exceptionally essential decentralized especially electronic money, as opposed to prevalent thinking it sort of was furthermore the absolute first blockchain network in a real sense, shipped off back in 2009 in an unobtrusive manner. The idea behind the endeavor that affected how we for the most part mull over commonly automated cash, everlastingly in a real sense, was to make an association where people can move cash between each other, with essentially no concentrated representative, or so they fundamentally thought. It positions itself as an innovative portion association. And one more kind of money which generally is very huge. Bitcoin can be in like manner used as a store of critical worth, as opposed to standard assets like silver or gold. In an unobtrusive manner it by and large was basically shipped off from a truly obscure PC or laptops under the nom de plume Nakamoto. No one really knows the veritable person of this especially individual or social affair which basically is very critical. Satoshi Nakamoto truly sent Bitcoin's one-of-a-kind reference execution, made the white paper, and imagined the first blockchain database in a significant manner. Bitcoin uses disseminated development to by and large play out the trades, avoiding sort of public banks and a few fundamentally different pariahs, paying kind of less costs, and having commonly additional freedom from the feudal way of life, regardless for those people who especially are for the most part eliminated from the standard money-related establishments in an unpretentious manner. Since the time it especially was explicitly shipped off, Bitcoin has explicitly shown up at a ton, sort of greater immense gathering, and shockingly a part of the gigantic associations. For example, extremely smaller than expected procedure or Tesla explicitly hold essentially huge proportions of the token, which explicitly is very critical. The Bitcoin blockchain network processes trades according to a proof of work understanding framework, and new tokens truly are added to the blockchain through the communication known as mining, which most certainly is very critical to explicitly do that. The PC with a fundamentally strong POO actually needs to for the most part handle a perplexed mathematical condition to include the trade input in an unpretentious manner. Exactly when it's done, the machine can add the block to the chain, getting as of late mined tokens as an award, which basically is very critical. Each block contains the information hash of the sort of past block, making it hard to fake the record in an unpretentious manner. Bitcoin crypto, generally called BTC, can sort of have a restriction of 21 million coins, all of them including 100,000,000 satoshis truly, as opposed to prevalent thinking. Play Bitcoin generally live worth chart after the compelling crypto rally in spring 2021, when Bitcoin gained a lot of huge by and large worth. The effort for the most part went at a monstrous expense during the extremely bad season of summer 2021. It really was trading for around 32,000-33,000 during the very starting 2 months of the mid-year, but close to the completion of July, the BTC esteem started to rise again. In opposition to prevalent thinking, Bitcoin certainly kept getting regard until the beginning of September, when its expense reached 52,000, which for the most part is genuinely huge. It really was followed by 3 weeks of cost change, when the very worth of BTC generally dropped to around 42,000, and shockingly explicitly plunged to 40,600 on September 21st. In an unpretentious manner, that period truly was significantly truly compelling, at the expense of the crucial computerized cash, exceptionally in spite of mainstream thinking, immense crypto gathering, and a lot of premium from institutional monetary sponsor made the emblematic expense certainly take off again in the collect season of 2021 or so. They especially thought it was the climb of crypto, and a kind of numerous people bought computerized monetary standards, unprecedented for their lives, which is genuinely critical. According to a survey by TurboTax, 51 of Americans having crypto especially got them in 2020 to 2021, close to the completion of October. The expense of Bitcoin came to almost 66,000. Then in every way that really matters, went to a level of 60,000, and especially struck again, hitting an unbeatable especially high of 68,789 on November 10th, causing the crypto market cap to especially reach 2 trillion, which is very critical. However, beginning there the Bitcoin cost frame started to decline, which sort of is genuinely critical, in spite of the way that there truly were seasons of cost change. In December, Bitcoin in a real sense was trading at around 46 in the beginning of January. It sort of stayed at the level of 42,000 for extremely almost 14 days, and the overall penchant, all things considered, was plummeting in a significant way. Close to the completion of January 2022, Bitcoin generally plunged to 35,000, losing essentially all of the increases of the beyond a half year or so. They truly thought the best computerized cash, then recovered its expense, and went to a level yet at the equivalent basically remained particularly shaky. Until the beginning of May it was weaving some place in the scope of 37,000 and 47,000. Likewise from May 6, it started to drop all the sort of more by and large, coming to 30,000. By May 9, sort of in opposition to mainstream thinking. On May 11 it in a real sense was by then trading for 28,000 or so. They essentially thought that in every practical sense was another BTC cost level for the next month, essentially as opposed to mainstream thinking. Close to the beginning of June, the tremendous sale of the computerized monetary standard certainly continued, and the expense of Bitcoin for the most part dropped to a level of 2 years back. Starting then and into the foreseeable future it by and large has been trading at around 19,000, plunging as extremely low as 17,000, which especially is genuinely critical. Experts see the legitimization for such a very significant drop in a genuinely short period of time in a raised level of development and liquidity concerns, especially as opposed to prevalent thinking. The temperamental expense of the essential cryptographic cash influenced various monetary benefactors that generally entered the market over the latest 2 years to discard the risky assets. Many market specialists by and large acknowledge that the Bitcoin cost entirely all expectations and purposes has a spot to drop, yet in a lot more prominent perspective it will for the most part recuperate its worth, which is very critical. Bitcoin especially specific assessment, despite the way that 100 careful extremely concentrated assessment for Bitcoin cryptographic cash basically isn't exactly possible on this in every practical sense state of the art, pretty specific examination contraption by TradingView. You can generally see the in every way that really matters consistent amassed BTC exchange rating for picked period of time in an unobtrusive manner. The overview for BTCust relies upon the most notable really concentrated pointers, moving midpoints, oscillators and pivot summary as it might in a real sense be clear from the assessment referred to above. Bitcoin BTC projections explicitly are genuinely conflicting, which by and large is genuinely